Arrays are the simplest type of collection in C#, but they are also the most limited. Using an array, you can store multiple values in a single variable. To begin, open the Spark sample file from your Sample Files folder. And open utilities.cs. This is a static class. As you may remember from lesson 6.9, this means that it can be used without creating an instance of the class. We are now going to add a public method to the class. To do this, use the following code. Public static string get blocked customers. When complete, this method will return a list of blocked customer ID numbers as an array. Next, we are going to create a string array in the new method. To do this, use the following code. String, open square brackets, close square brackets, customers equals new string, open square brackets, 3, close square brackets. String with square brackets defines a new array of string variables. You can place square brackets after any type of variable to create an array of that type. The number 3 means that the new array will be able to contain 3 strings. We are now going to populate the array with values. Add the following code to set the value of the first element in the array. Customers, begin square brackets, 0, end square brackets, equals 6. Now set the second value in the array with the code customers 1 equals 9. And set the third value using customers 2 equals 11. Your array will now contain the values 6, 9, and 11. You might think that you should be assigning a value to customers 3, but as you can see, the first element's index number is 0. When you created a string 3 array, you created a string array with 3 elements, 0, 1, and 2. This is because all collections in C# are 0-based. This was discussed in lesson 4.7. Note that although you can't change the size of an array without recreating it, a new array will automatically size itself if you specify the contents when you create it. Using this syntax uses less code, so it can be ideal for short arrays, such as the one you create in this lesson. You could have created this lesson's array in a single line of code, as follows. String, begin square brackets, end square brackets, customers, equals new string, begin square brackets, end square brackets, begin curly brackets, 6, 9, 11, end curly brackets. Also note that the array you create in this lesson only has a single dimension, but it's possible to create multi-dimensional arrays with elements such as string 1, 7. These are useful for situations where you have a grid of data. Multidimensional arrays are covered in depth in the Expert Skills course in this series. We are now going to make the method return the array. First, change the line that starts the method to public static string begin square brackets, end square brackets, get blocked customers. The square brackets on the return value are needed to tell the method that it will return an array rather than a single string. Now add the following line at the end of the method. Return customers. This will return the customers array when the method is called. We are now going to test the array on the newTransaction.aspx page. Open the code behind file of newTransaction.aspx. Now find the line of code that checks the customer ID numbers. This line was created in the Session 7 exercise, so you may need to download the sample files and use the file for this lesson if you can't find this code. Change the if statement to if utilities.getBlockedCustomers.contains drop-down list customer .selected value. By using the contains method of the array, you have simplified the if statement considerably. If you had 50 customers you wanted to block, this would almost be a necessity, although you would normally use a database to store a list that long. By using an array, you have centralized your list of blocked customers and made it much easier to work with. You've now completed Lesson 8.1 Create an Array.